Okay, hi guys, it's nice to be back with you again after so long. I'm just making sure that everything's okay on here. If anybody's listening, could they just give me a thumbs up that you can hear me okay and see everything all right? I'm using for the first time the Facebook Live app, which I've not been really used to before. Right, hi to Lee and Ben, Christopher Turner. That's great to see you all again. Who else got there? Armand Adams, yeah, thank you. That's brilliant that you're all coming through okay. Can you all hear okay? Could somebody just put in the comments there that you can hear me okay and see everything all right? Because I haven't got another computer with me to actually test this, and I don't want to be waffling on too long, because I'm sure you want to get down to the actual Ghostbox sessions this evening. So if anybody can just pop a little thumbs up in there to say that they can hear me okay. If you can, could you just give me a quick nod as well? I was going to do this on a preset stream, but unfortunately, oh, that's great. Thanks, Christopher. Yeah, thank you, Alan. That's brilliant. So you can all hear me okay, and we've got no lags or anything there. That's brilliant. Right, thank you. Okay, so we can crack on with this. Thank you for joining me this evening. I've been wanting to do one or two of these sessions for a while now, as you probably know. Because I wanted to not only use these traditional, what people call ghost boxes, for communicating with spirit as such, but when you sort of delve into a deeper understanding of what we all are, we're all sentient beings of one form or another. It soon came to me that there's no reason why these same devices can't be used to actually communicate with extraterrestrial or otherworldly beings that have a similar intelligence to ourselves. So, you know, with this in mind, I did, excuse me, I've got a bit of a cold, so I hope you'll bear with me, but I can just feel my nose tickling at the moment. Yeah, it did sort of come to me through a channeling that there was a possible way of actually communicating with these beings, which I don't want to go too much on about. I might make a video of that in the future, but tonight is about the, it'd be really interesting to try something way out there, really. And that's to see if we can try and solve one of probably the strangest of modern day mysteries, conspiracies, in that have we got sort of any life, intelligent life or alien life as such, occupying our moon? Now, there have been many people that have put up videos and photographs, even from the NASA moonshots and other vehicles that have been out there around the moon orbit that have taken strange photographs of what look like artificial structures on the moon. So it doesn't sound too ludicrous, really, to go on to the next step and think, well, if there are beings there, can we communicate? Can we find out information from them? And that's what, in all seriousness, we are going to be attempting tonight. Before we do that, I just want to explain something about the understanding behind how these boxes, the FCD, work. Now, if I were to come on here tonight and talk to many of you that have been involved in the paranormal for several years about dowsing, for example, now that's quite a well-established way of communication. Although you won't see it like that, it's a tool for actually communicating information that is hidden, esoteric information that's hidden and brought to us through the use of a dowsing pendulum or dowsing rods, etc., by using a tool. Now, because that tool is something that has been around for, in the case of Fort Twiggs, for example, for dowsing, many hundreds of years, in the pendulum, if I were to come on tonight and do a session saying I'm going to find answers to the unknown sent to me from the unknown through using dowsing, I probably wouldn't get the same reaction excuse me, as I do get from saying, well, I'm going to use this device that's been created in a mechanical way, a radio transmitting device, a receiver, should say, a device, to actually pick up similar hidden information. Now, I cannot see any difference, to be honest with you, between using these boxes and using dowsing, which I do both. Because at the end of the day, everything, when we understand this at a deeper level, is energy. Whether it's the way we communicate with each other by using our own sound waves, their energy that come from our vocal cords, from our voice box. We're still using energy to communicate with. So there is no difference. And as I say, in the case of dowsing, we've got something there that is going to amplify information from somewhere unknown and give us reactions, whether it's through our nervous system by, twigs that are moving or pendulums that are gyrating. There's still an amplification of information that comes through in an energy form. So I hope you can understand what I'm getting out there. Hi, Mark. Great that you're joining us tonight. And Mark Coltis is with us, who's one of the pioneers of ghost boxes, really, in the UK and known all over the world, basically, for what he builds and does. In another session another week, maybe we can have a conversation together with Mark. So I'd love to do that at some point. He's got a wealth of knowledge, but tonight I just want to concentrate on what we're doing, and that's about this introduction, really, to the session that we're going to have tonight, and that's all about, can we communicate with beings that are occupying the moon, or the realm that the moon occupies within what I believe is the ether. Okay, so and when we say beings, how are we to presume that alien life forms have to be any different than our own spiritual essence of human beings, the personality? I mean, if it is my view, but not proven, my view, that some beings do have a spiritual energy about them that are not human. So they could be occupying the realm that we call the moon in the physical sense, in a interdimensional or possibly an etherical way, which we don't quite understand fully yet how that works, but it could happen all the same. And that would answer many of the questions where we've got, for example, George Adamski in the 50s and other people like Daniel Fry, contactees from that period, were stating that they were meeting beings from these worlds that physically, for example, Venus, was impossible to do so. But not when you think about energy and you think about how these beings can operate and exist within this energy essence of the etheric worlds all around us. Okay, hiya, James. I'm just breaking up, so I want to say hi to everybody that's taken the time to join us tonight. We've got James there, who's been busy, I see, building his, working with his, what do you call it? James will tell me in a moment. He's creating 3D models and things with this fantastic machine he's bought. I've seen Batman on there, Spider-Man. James knows what I'm about, but yeah, keep it up. Really good work there, James. And Cherry's joined as well. Nice to see you, Cherry. I hope we can see you. See his 3D printer. Thanks, James. Got that now. Yeah, just wouldn't come to my mind. I'm already getting zoned in to work with the other realm tonight. Okay, and Cherry's there. Thank you, Cherry. Like I say, nice to see you on here, and I hope that me and Helen can meet up with you very soon again. Last met at Pro, but it's fantastic to meet a like-minded person there that actually does the channeling. And Cherry's really good, really, really good. And you can tell that she has been inspired by the celestial beings around her to actually bring through this message for humanity. I'm just going through all these things quickly. I'll never get on with the show, but hi, Chris, another good friend there, Christine. If I don't get around to, if I miss your name or anything, you know I'm watching and you know my love, and I'm with you. You know that, definitely. You know how I work. I'm all over the place normally. But yeah, hi, Christian. Great to see you there, mate. So without further ado, I hope I've explained that to you a little bit clearer. It's difficult, but really what we've got to think about is that these boxes, although they're working on what we interpret as, and I've done for many years now, as radio waves, what is important is not how the information gets into the box, where it originates from, but what you're actually hearing coming out of it. That is what we've got to focus on, because it is my belief, and many others that are involved in this, I'm sure Mark will agree with this, is that the information is being manipulated at some point between its transmission and what we hear audibly coming from the box. And it's that information that we need to focus on to bring through the message or as I say, the information that is important to us. Okay, yeah, thank you, Matt. That's what we need to do, and that takes away then these people that say, "Oh, you're just listening to snippets of radio." Well, yes, we are. Nobody's going to deny that. Nobody ever did. Sometimes it's snippets of other things, maps or sound banks or whatever source we can grab hold of to put through these machines to actually bring through in a coherent way, but not in a way that we know is going to happen. The information is being chosen, it's being manipulated by, yeah, Matt's going, they use carrier waves. That's right, it's a carrier wave that brings across this information and then it's manipulated by an external source out there to focus in the message for us. So bear that in mind tonight while you're hearing what might seem to you like, even if it's a song on the radio, it may be very, very relevant, that snippet of that song, to what we're trying to understand. Okay, so just like all mediums say, and people that channel, I know this as well, sometimes the understanding and the actual way of interpreting the message may not come till later on when we start to fit the jigsaw pieces together. So, you know, just bear that in mind and then we'll take it from there. I just want to, before we do start properly on the session, just want a big thank you to Bob Wagner in the USA, if he's watching this, Bob, because he's done a lot for me. I actually sent him over one of my small radios that are based on the FCD way of hacking radios, and people are starting to get those now off eBay and places, off my website, and they're getting some great results with them. Again, it works on a sweep, a radio sweep, but I like to change. I like to sort of bring through information in one or two words rather than the odd word. I know a lot of people that use these don't think it's viable if we get full words, but if you go with the understanding I've just mentioned, I don't see why we can't get longer sentences, as long as they all fit together and mean something. I don't see any problem with that. And the radios I'm working with, I'm slowing the sweep down to bring through more words than just the odd word here and there, and you know, trying to clear up the static in it as well, which again is preferences. Some people think the static's great because they do get through, the energy is manipulated easier, the white noise, so spirit or entities of any kind come through and use that carrier in that way. Okay, so a big thank you to Bob there for doing that video for me, which I shared on my timeline. I've explained a little bit about all that. I just want to, before we start, wish that you're all well. The weather's horrendous out there at the moment. Well, it's horrendous, but it's nice as well in a funny sort of way. I mean, Helen will tell you she's done a day off work, you know, so she thinks it's great. But there are people out there that've got to get to work, got to get to places and things. And we've seen the news tonight where, you know, there are cars piled up on the motorway and stuff. Be really safe, guys, out there, because, you know, you're not going to win with Mother Nature. We never could do. We've had to adapt all these thousands and thousands of years to get along with it, you know, to get this far. So let's carry on like that. And each one of you, you know, believe you me, the beings out there will always tell us this: you're precious. You're precious. You are, you know, the future for mankind. And your thoughts are going into that ether out there. They're building up this new future for humanity. And it's all being created as we think every day and as we bring all this energy in together. So you're precious, remember that, you know. You need to look after yourselves, keep well, guys, and, you know, teach love amongst everything to the young ones out there. And teach them to respect the earth, to respect the world we're living in, and to respect the other life forms. No matter whether it's the smallest ant or the giantest whatever, you know, we're all here for a purpose and we're all part of the same world. So we've got to learn to respect each other. And that's been one of humanity's biggest failings. Once we do that, war stops, jealousy stops. You know, don't get me wrong, I'm a human being just like you and the rest of us. I'm not preaching to you. I make mistakes, I get things wrong, we all do. But I've been called other things I'm not. I'm not a common man. I never have been. I do care about you guys. I care about everybody that I'm involved with. And my purpose in all of this has always been and always will be to get to the truth. And the people that try and sway that path or try to paint it in a different way. Well, that's their problem. They'll get over that in time, I'm sure. So we're going to do this. We're going to go on tonight. We're going to do this. I've got some questions lined up. If you've got any questions in there, keep it on the theme if you can, because we'll have other weeks where we can do different themes. I'm sure you'll let me know what you want to do these sessions with. And tonight what I'm going to use is, pop your questions in the timeline there. I can see them all as we go along, and I'll try and ask them on your behalf to whoever's listening to the box, basically. Okay. So yeah, thank you, Chris. You're a good lad. You really are. You're one of the ones for the future. I know that. I've known it for years. Keep up the good work, buddy. Keep it up. Okay, right. We're gonna have some questions here. I've got a few questions I've written down earlier. Got a couple of things I want to say at the end. I don't know how long they'll let you go on this Facebook Live thing. Somebody told me it's a couple of hours. Somebody told me you get about half an hour, then to cut you off. So if I get cut off, just bear with me. I'll come straight back on again. I'll try and get straight back on again and carry on from where we left off. Okay. So what I'm going to use tonight, you could get rid of my mush up here. And I'm just sorry about this. I'm just turning the webcam round and getting to a good position. I'm sorry about that, guys. That should be okay. Can you all see that okay? Yeah. What I'm going to use tonight basically is this one here, which a lot of people have seen off my website, is the FCD, the Philfot communication device, and that's the Mark IV on site. This one I made. I'm not going to try and sell it on here. I'm not trying to do that at all. I'm just going to explain to you a little bit about what it is. But it's basically a radio sweeping box. Works with apps as well that you put into a USB port. You can connect up external ghost boxes to it, a portal or whatever. You can put your phone in there. You can use everything with it basically. But it's got a decent amplifier in it, a decent reverb. You'll hear it in a moment or two. And what it hasn't got, which is I'm working on at the moment, is continuous sweep. So after about one run through of the old FM waveband, I have to keep restarting it. But I found that ain't too bad, because you can use that then for question and answer sessions. So that's not a bad thing in itself. But I am working on the next version to have a continuous sweep, which is adjustable. And I'm working with some of my friends on Facebook that are helping me with that. And then after that, we've done that, I might, if we have time, use a sound bank I've got here that's got over 3,000 files on it of different sounds and voices and things to actually put into the Mark IV. I'll give a little go with that as well. And then I've been building this, but it's based on the original Mark 3.1 in a different case. Again, simple sweep, but it's got a good tone quality, and it's got a 50 watt amplifier in there that gives through a really good, decent, meaty sound. So I'll be working with that at the end of the session. It's got a lot of white noise, a lot of hiss on it, but people sometimes do pick things up in there. Hiya Kay and hiya Julie for joining us tonight, just explaining about the different ghost boxes and what they can do. And without further ado, we're going to be looking at ET life on the moon. Is it possible? Is there any evidence of it? Is there evidence going to come through tonight and show us that it is there? If you hear anything, because believe you me, I'm deaf as a post most of the time, but if you hear anything that others are not hearing, don't be afraid to put it up on the comments, will you? Even if it sounds really stupid, but you think it's relevant to something, put it on there, and that's how we can evaluate. What I will do is, at the end of the session, of the next couple of days, I'll do an edited review of the video, if I'm allowed to, off Facebook. I'm not sure if you can. And then I'll post it up so everybody can have a listen to it and narrate it or whatever we want to do. Crikey, it's 18 minutes into it already, and all you've heard is me rambling on. So let's get cracking, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave the camera on this little box here. And my first question that I'm going to put out there is I'm going to turn the light down if possible. Okay, but now I can't see my questions. So what I'm going to have to do is have a quick try and memorize my questions. Okay. And we'll just go with it and see what happens. The first thing I need to do, which I was running late this morning, I didn't turn this thing on. Let's get a bit of volume on this so it picks up okay, and a little bit of reverb. Simply turn the unit on. There we go, there's the unit turned on. And now we've got it. In the FM radio mode, I'll leave the lights on. It'll be easier for me to read the thing. Can you all hear me okay still? Yeah? Hiya, Sarah. Sarah's my daughter, so everybody treats her with the utmost respect. Sarah is a contactee herself from being a little girl. And her story validates the fact that I'm genuinely involved in this UFO phenomenon. But Sarah's listening tonight, and yeah, should be interesting. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is going to ask the first question. Does alien life exist in our universe? And has this life visited the moon? If there's anybody there that'd like to answer that question, please come through.
Listen.
Somebody said there they were listening. Is there any extraterrestrial life on the moon? Please could you come forward and tell us if there's any extraterrestrial life on the moon? Was that yes? There is some.
I think
This is a question that a lot of people have asked for many years now, at least 35 years I'm aware of. And that is the moon that we know real as a real physical body like the planet Earth, made of rock and other physical things, or is it artificial? Is it an artificial satellite? Try now with the sound bank and we'll see, because that's more continuous. We will get lots of sounds coming out with that. So I put it on, simply put it on again. And says, forgetting to turn the battery back on. Right. And then we just put the USB straight in on this one. You don't have to change any buttons. And it should just start up. So again, is the moon artificial? Okay, guys, let's have a listen and see what we get through this time. Hello, is there anybody there? Anyone like to speak to us from this world or beyond? I think I'm frightened. Are you frightened? You don't have to be frightened. Can you come through again and speak to us? Hello? Hello? Is there anybody there? Hello? Have you got a message for William? Have you got a message of hope for William? Hello? What do we want? William, what do you want? Have you got a name for us? Last time we had Edward come through. Is Edward there? Hello? Is Edward there? Fairly disappointed tonight because it's not, as you said in the previous video, there's hardly anything getting through. It made me laugh because somebody mentioned earlier, I'm not sure who it was now, said that it's probably too cold out there for them to bother to come through.
Everybody just.
Would somebody like to make a guest appearance for us? Is there anybody on this list that has got a message for them? I'm going to mention the names now. Armand, Mark, William, Christian, Jane, Nicola Sayers. Hiya, Nicola. Dominic, Michael, Sarah. Armand wants me to ask you, is anyone here ready for reincarnation? Or such, I should say, I think he means, is there anybody in the spirit world ready for reincarnation? Could you give us some identification on that? Whether, let us know whether in the spirit world anybody's ready to come back? Don't hear that, guys. I got that pretty clear here in my left ear. Go away. Okay, we don't really want to go away at the moment. If there's anybody that's more positive there that'd like to step forward, give us some positive information for us all. Sorry, we missed that. Who is that? Did you say hi? We still like to know if there's anybody ready for reincarnation. Would anybody like to if they've got the energy to say it, that they're ready to come back here, human or not? Okay. Every time I'm about to speak, something comes through. It always happens like that, I'm sure. There you go. Okay, use my energy if you like. I don't mind. Use it to come through. Please use the energy in this room to come through. Thank you. Right, I'm going to ask another question about the moon theme now. I'll go back to that. And that's one that people will definitely want to know. Did humanity ever really land on the moon in the Apollo moon missions? Or was it all fake? I fake. Did you hear that clearly, guys? I fake. I heard it clear as a bell. A lady's voice. Could you clarify that for us again? Thank you. Could you clarify that for us? Was it true or was it fake that we landed on the moon? I'm open-minded to it, but could you let us know? Use me as a channel. Sorry, guys. As Mark will know, these things take a while to warm up. You know, as more either spirit or non-entity energy comes around, sorry, non-human entity, I meant to say, you do start to get more and more replies. And also the weather conditions, I say, maybe picking up a bit. I'm not silly about this, you know, there could be quite natural reasons for this, but I have found, I'm sure Mark will tell you as well, that the more you use these things, the more comes through. Right, I'm saying this on behalf of Christine Lingham, but for everybody, have you got any spirits out there, got any messages for any of them? Any messages for our friends on the internet tonight? They're very much appreciated. Hi Janie, Yeah, that's always the case, isn't it, Mark? Just as you're getting it coming through really well, yeah, it's the time when you're about to finish off the session. I've found that. You can't win, can you? You know, it's like, let's carry on with this because I think things are building up a bit. Hi, Janie. Lovely to see you on here. Just working with the FCD box at the moment, and we're trying to ask questions about, did man actually land on the moon? Oh, no, we've gone past that, haven't we? Sorry, guys. So, yeah. Right, these guys and they would become think more. Okay, if you're listening out there, my friends from the world, if you can come through, right, use the voices and come through with something that's very direct and very unearthly meaning or sounding. We'll give you a bit of time to do it, but please come through and show them that we're dealing with something that is either extraterrestrial or non-human. Okay, thank you. That sounded a bit Palladian to me. It's something to do with its star something. I can't quite get that word. When I used to work with Helen up at the Settle Portal, we used to see now and again this woman floating through the woods who looked like the Virgin Mary, and we believed that she was a Palladian being. She was in blue a lot of the time, and people could easily mistake her as being the Virgin Mary, but she wasn't. She was from the Pleiades star system, and that voice that came through then definitely to me sounded like how I've heard her before, and she definitely said something about stars. I'm not sure what it was. Let's listen again, see if she comes through again. The Blue Lady, are you there? I'd like to communicate with the Blue Lady. Could you bring through any information for us? A lot of voices there in the background, very low. It might have been hard to hear on the net, but there's like a few voices all together then. I've got it, he said. Okay, guys, I think we're going to. I just want to talk about something and just turn this off a second or two. Okay, so knock that off there. It's always going to be a difficult one tonight. You can never plan these things. I've done other sessions, as you can see on the website. They've been absolutely brilliant, and I am actually, like I say, trying to improve the devices all of the time. We all have our Mark has his own boxes as well. I must say, give him a shout out there. He does build them for people, so if you're interested in buying a different kind of box, you know, look up Mark Coltis on Facebook, and I'm sure that he'll oblige and help you when he can. I'm building these boxes, the FCDs, working on an ancient technology that I'm trying to incorporate into them that I do believe affects them. So we're all doing our own little thing. I'm not happy with this yet, 100%. I know there's something else got to be done with it yet, and I'm going to work on that. And I'm looking at. I just want to say a big thank you as well. He might not be on here tonight, but my friend Simon Cox Facebook friend who also, you know, he hacks these radios, makes ghost boxes and things, and he's given me heck of a lot of help over the last couple of years. Now, Simon, at the moment, has told me about, I'm working on one of these Arduino sort of chipped radio programmed thingamabobby things, and I'm having a look at that to see if I can incorporate that into a smaller device, because what I really want to do at the end of the day, if possible, is make something that does. You see, the problem is there are like two camps at the moment. There are people that are making ghost boxes for, and don't get me wrong, it's all relevant, we're all energy wherever we come from, okay, but it's animal life, plant life, alien life, human life, it's all relevant. But what I'm saying is that there are people who go out, you know, ghost hunting and doing that sort of paranormal investigation. Whereas I'm wanting to, definitely in the summers, take these boxes to portal areas that I know exist, like the one I talked about with the Blue Lady, and communicate with them there. I feel we'll get some brilliant results. I just can sense it. So I want to try and do that. But also there's something about, and the ancients knew this, it's not just about building a box and just using it. It's a bit like I mentioned right at the beginning. It's funny how these things go full circle, isn't it? How dowsing is a very ancient form. I mean, elephants douse naturally when they're looking for water, but mankind has dowsed and looked for hidden information in that way from earliest times. But there's something that is, how can I put it? If you put the effort into something, I'll give you an example. I used to always make my own dowsing rods. I used to make my own pendulums from tree branches, and the ones that I made compared to the ones that I bought from the shops always seem to give me better results. And that's because I believe we're putting our own creative energy into the actual object, and it's holding it there in its energy. So you become part of that object. And I think the same thing can happen with these ghost boxes. I really do. And that's why I think that the pleasing look of a box, the aesthetics of a box as well, are very important to get through good information. I know that may sound crazy, because most people will think, nah, it's just got something to do with, you know, the electronics inside of it. Well, has it? Because at the end of the day, them electronics are just bits of matter, bits of, you know, physical matter that we and electrons, and they allow things to happen in an electrical circuitry way. But then they're just physical things from the real world. No different from the physical box that you're putting it into. So it's all relevant again, as I say. And what I'm working on now is I'm trying to look at boxes, which I've got a new one coming out. I've just got to get the right radio for this, because I haven't found it yet. But I'm going to look for it, and I'm going to pop it on for the first time, an exclusive for you. And this is Atlantis, FCD Atlantis. That's coming very soon. As I say, it's still got a lot of work to be done on it, and I'm just going to pop it in there for you to see. Okay. There's the top of it. You see, we've got the theme of Atlantis. I wanted to go with something that looks nice, that's got that crystal energy to it. So we've got a little green pyramid there just next to the display. We've got this lovely dome that's over the speaker. So the energy of the sounds coming out of the speaker are only let out around the bottom rim, and it gives it this really angelic quality to the actual sound. I was really pleased with that. Got buttons and things on there. We've got the 9 volt battery pack on the back there. It's built in a lovely, you know, little sort of jewelry box case, and we've got the aerial here. I'll show you it all there, look on the side. So I'm quite happy with it. I got the handle as well to make it practical on this side. There you go, look. But I'll just show you quickly inside, you guys, what's in there. And it's, you know, Mark, welcome to my world and yours. You know what it's like with these things. There you go. Okay, so it's got a lot of work to be done on it. Yeah, I'm not happy with it. It's not picking up, again, a great deal, but I'm sure, you know, it's work in progress. So there you go, FCD Atlantis. These aren't going to be the next FCD, by the way. This is just a one-off. But I will make them for people if they want one to sit on the dressing table or to work in their sacred space with or whatever. And who knows, you may get through and communicate with the old Atlanteans. You just don't know. But these are the type of things, again, I'll just put that down for a drop it, that I'm hoping to be working with, rather than just make ordinary, straightforward boxes. I do think it's important that we put a part of ourselves into them and give them that quality. Remember, at the end of the day, we are dealing with a part of our higher self that has gone to either the beyond, a higher realm, depending on what you believe in, and even some of the extraterrestrial beings that I know exist. I'm not saying we have to respect them, but it wouldn't do us any harm to respect them on an equal terms of as we respect each other, to be honest with you. So if we can show that we're putting a lot of effort into making these devices, that's why I've got so much admiration for people like Mark, people like Simon, and people like Bob in America that have put time and dedication into building these boxes and to help people get information and messages through. That they're doing a wonderful thing. They're doing a wonderful thing. And people will laugh, people will scoff. The people don't quite understand where all this is going. I'm pretty sure of that. But I can see that, you know, even Tesla knew this back in his time. These radios weren't just for entertainment value, just like TV's been hijacked. They were for something more profound. They were a gateway in themselves to open up communication with other worlds. And I hope that you can take that on board, you guys, and I hope that you'll see that that what I'm saying makes some sense at some level. I firmly believe that, and I have done for 30 odd years. I'm not going to change my mind now. Just want to mention another quick thing for all the naysayers out there. People have said to me, well, are you just jumping onto the bandwagon here with these boxes? For years you were a channeler, so why would you need a box? Let's just get this straight. This isn't about me. I still channel, I still do that type of thing. That never stops. But not everybody can, or not everybody knows how to. And I don't think everybody does have the ability, just like I haven't got the ability to be a world-class racing driver, but I can do other things that a racing driver couldn't do. It's like that in the world, you know, we've all got a gift of some kind. So, you know, people that are saying that you know, you're just making these boxes now, it isn't about me at all. It's about people out there that can't channel yet. And I do think it's a bridge, to be honest with you, between communication in the way that we understand it and another form that we can bring in now to help people that want to channel, that want to communicate and want to bring through evidence, whether it's from the spirit world or the beyond. I don't think that really matters. I think we're making that distinction between dimensions, spirit worlds, other planets, etherical, you know, realities. We're making those differences when they don't exist. Everything is energy. Everything everywhere is energy, and that's all we need to worry about. And everything then will flow in the manner that it's supposed to do. Woof! That seemed like it would be channeled through to me, guys. I hope it didn't come across it that way too strongly, but that's what happens sometimes when we work with these energies. We start to get things through that we want to pass on to other people. Okay, and Valerie, I've just seen you there as well, and Claire. Thank you, Claire, for coming on. I'm going to end this now after an hour because I don't feel I'm set up properly for it. But it's been a good taster. I really thank you all for coming along. What I want to do is I'm going to give it another week or so, and then I'm going to get my own system set up properly. I'm in my workroom at the moment. Again, Mark will know what this is like. It's not the most conducive room to be doing. I'll just try and show you around. I've got all bits of, you know, try and keep this camera steady, bits of electrical stuff all over the place where I built my actual, there you go, look at that. Tons and tons of stuff that I used to, shelves and shelves of it. Parts and things that I used to make my boxes, and you know, it's a workroom rather than a room to do these sort of settings in. Okay, guys, I'm going to put that try and put my webcam back out of the car. Sorry about that, but it's been good. I tell you what, I like the stream on here because it doesn't seem to be a very clear picture, and it seems very. I hope the sound's okay. It seems okay from what you've said. It's been a good test run. I'm quite happy with what's going on. I'm not happy about the boxes. They didn't operate in the way that we've got one or two things through, and I was quite happy with that. I'm just looking back at the thing, and we've got Armand Adams saying, "Is that an astronaut?" I'm not sure. Maybe you could tell us a little bit more about that later on. Yeah. Okay. And I think Cindy got not dark grumpy. Unless she means me, of course. I don't know, but there you go. It could be. All right, guys. Well, thank you very much for joining me tonight. I mean, I've enjoyed it. I love seeing all you guys and all your posts on Facebook. I've been really busy just lately, though, as you can imagine, with building the boxes and things. But you know, it's been great, and I just hope that I can get one of these things working 100% fantastically for when Probe comes up. Anybody interested? I've forgotten what the group's called, and please forgive me for that. It's something like Spirit Seekers UK or something like that. There's a group that are actually coming to the Probe conference on the 24th and the 25th of this month, March, at the YMCA in Lytham St Anne's in Blackpool. So if you're anywhere in the north of the country, do get along. Them guys are bringing along their Geobox. Now, I've never seen one of these live yet. I've seen videos of them. They look really good. So I'd like to have a look at that and chat with them. But I'm going to be talking about how the FCD, the Philphone Communication Device, came about. I'm going to be giving a talk on the 25th about that and give a live demonstration as well. Let's hope I get a better reception there than we did tonight. But you know, this is the good thing about it. You know, people say, "Oh, it's all a con, is this?" And so, but it isn't, is it? Because we don't know what's going to happen. We go with it and trust with it, and sometimes it's fantastic, sometimes it's not so good. It just depends on the vibes out there and what's meant to be. So let's hope for the next one that's going to be spot on. Who knows? It may not be. I can't promise anything. Let's be honest with all of this, and we always will be. And I just want to say to you guys, do you know what's really bad about this Facebook thing? You need somebody else to keep scrolling it down, because I'm still looking at messages from about half an hour ago. Yeah, I'm just looking through some of your messages there. Thank you to everybody, and yeah, good night to you all. And I will do another show soon, I promise you. Hopefully Christian knows what I'm like with this technology. I never get it right. Hopefully it'll be better next time. Good seeing you guys, and I'll take care. And take care in this weather, please. Remember, you're all precious. Okay, take care, guys.